Right, I want to spend a minute or two talking about distillation, which is a method of separating mixtures where the parts of the mixture have different boiling points. And the way it works is that you take whatever your mixture is, you boil one part, and you let it collect separately. So in this case, we would start by putting the liquid that we want to, or the mixture that we want to separate, which is usually a mixture of two liquids. We would put that over here, and at the end, we would end up with one of the parts of the mixture here and the other part here. And usually this is the end we're interested in collecting samples from. So you put your mixture into the device over here, and this has some heat source, so there's a burner underneath it or a hot plate or something. And you heat the liquid or the mixture until one of the parts begins to boil. And when that part begins to boil, the vapor from that will rise through this tube, and here this is blocked off. Usually you'll see a thermometer put in here to monitor the temperature. That vapor will come into this tube, which is called a condenser. And it may be hard to see on the video, but this is actually two glass tubes. There's an outer tube, and then there's a tube that runs on the inside of that. And on this outer tube you have these two little knobs sticking off of here, and what you do is you connect these to a water supply, and it fills that outer tube with very, very cold water. And the reason that this is good is because when the vapor comes through here and into the condenser, it travels down the inner tube, and with that outer tube filled with cold water, that means that the vapor turns to a liquid inside that inner tube. And as it turns into a liquid, it will run down the condenser and into this, which is called the collection flask. So again, what happens? You have your mixture, one part boils away, comes into the condenser where it turns into a liquid, and then it drips down into the receiving flask, leaving one part of your mixture here. Usually we're less concerned about this part than we are about this part. The receiving flask is what collects what you actually want out of the distillation.